really pleased with Connor Pilkington tonight. I thought he went in there and just really threw the ball in the strike zone. He did a ton of strike ones, which is exactly what we needed. And I thought we defended well behind him. And you know, this is one of those evenings where you got to ask yourself, are we getting better? Are we getting worse? And I think our club got better tonight. We got total involvement from our club. You know, Eli needed some ABs to get up there and get some hits, and he did. Stovey had been hitting some balls really, really hard. He got up there and got some hits tonight. You know, we got into some situations where we got to show a little bit of speed. You know, Robbie hits that ball off the wall, and he once he gets underway, he's one of the fastest players in college baseball. I mean, he is flying. You know, anybody can hit a ball over the fence, but to do what he did tonight, he just outran the game a little bit, and you know, that was fun to watch too. But I thought we had some good situational stuff happen offensively, and especially with 2 outs and 2 strikes, which is something that's really important to our club. And we got some guys who got some work. You know, Sear came in and got some work. Houston came in and got some work. Young came in and got some work, and Billingsley had a nice 9th inning there. So I think mission accomplished. I think we got some things done tonight.
You ever seen it inside the park or inside
Oh,
the floor?
yeah, absolutely. But a lot of them, you got to have, you know, a dive play, and that wasn't a dive play. It's a run to the wall, and the ball just ricochets off the wall. And I tell you what, I remember I was a huge Cardinal fan as a kid, and that would happen in Old Busch Stadium with that old turf with all those runners they had. That would happen on occasion where a ball would hit the wall or get it into a corner, and those guys could really run. And so Robbie looked like a Willie McGee just flying around the bases there. But,
Grand slam on an inside park. You've seen one?
Yeah, yeah, in the big leagues. You know, during that time where everything wasn't about balls leaving the ballpark, you know, when runners actually existed in the game. But, you know, that was fun to watch. He, you know, just to see how far he was away from home plate when the ball actually hit the wall was pretty remarkable in and of itself.
After what kind of happened last week in the midweek, do you see a little more focus from your team coming into this game?
You know, I think our kids were focused last week. I just think we had some things happen. We involved a lot of people. We played 2 teams that came in and had some good sequences against us. But I think tonight, you know, we had some goals set for this ball game, and our kids accomplished them. And I think it was very, you know, Jim just said this on the radio, and I agree. It's very workmanlike effort from our ball club.
No
Quick
strikeout.
turnaround now, getting ready for Georgia. What do you know about Georgia?
Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of Georgia. I saw some innings from their big right-hander who's been going on Friday nights for them, who they moved back. They're going to keep him on Friday night, and they're going to throw a freshman left-hander, at least what I'm hearing, on Thursday. We're going to keep Dakota as our first guy, which means he's going to be short in a day. But, yeah, we've looked at some of their numbers. We'll start breaking down their film, and they're very, very talented. They're very left-handed heavy with their lineup. They can run. You know, they had a tough series against Kentucky, but certainly they could have won 2 out of 3 in that series. And you know, it's SEC baseball. You know, everybody who rolls into here or wherever we go, they're going to be very capable of not just beating you. I mean, they can get some momentum going. So we got to be ready to play baseball.
No, you're happy
Dakota
to
throwing
play.
126 pitches last week. Are you any concern about shortening the day?
You know, not really. Just because in the course of the summer in the Cape, you know, he's pitching, you know, on 5 days, a lot, and you know, I think he's in a good place. He had a great bullpen a day ago. Really threw the ball well, so I think he's in a good place to do this.
I know you, of all the things tonight, I know there's 16 runs on the board, you got to be happy with that, but no strikeouts tonight, first time in 3 years. I know you got to be really happy.
Yeah, you know, that doesn't happen a whole lot. You know, Nick Mingione was just mentioning that in our dugout. Yeah, that's a real credit to our kids, especially with 2 strikes. And, you know, they saw a variety of different types of breaking balls tonight and different velocities, and they just kind of hung in there and made those guys make some plays. And that's how you score a bunch of runs. It's just not giving in with 2 strikes and making the other team make every single play on the field.
Does a short week change anything you do with your bullpen?
You know, not really. You know, we did have some. We probably, if it was a Friday night, we probably would have got more of our bullpen guys involved tonight. We probably would have shortened Pilkington a little bit, and we probably would have had 2 or 3 more arms go out there and get their work done. But because it's the short week, you know, we felt like we needed to stretch them out a little bit more.